What are some self-care practices that are actually just selfishness? Weaponizing therapy language to justify treating others people like garbage. Protecting my peace, setting boundaries, speaking my truth, along with the overuse of gaslighting, narcissist, toxic, abusive, trauma, triggering, PTSD, etc. It cheapens the scenarios when all of these terms actually apply. This irks me as well, especially when people misuse, trigger, and abuse. As a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, I don't appreciate when people are triggered by requests for accountability or call confrontation abuse. Like, no, just fuck off. Yes, I hate pseudo-therapeutic jargon thrown around casually to explain any and every situation. Anyone with an ability to Google search or has a TikTok account is now a licensed therapist, psychiatrist, apparently. I love my older brother to death, but when our family, adult siblings, stayed with my parents for the holidays recently one year, he apparently became really angry that I had hung up my shower towel in the bathroom to dry after I had used it once, hoping to use it the next day. He passive-aggressively placed it on the bed where I was sleeping, all damp. When I asked him calmly to please not do that, he told me I was gaslighting him and was being toxic and he was implementing his boundaries. I could not stop laughing. Everyone has dated a narcissist. No, really, they were, haven't you heard? My ex quit our couples therapy because she said that I made it so it wasn't a safe space. Because I tried to talk about her affair, which was the reason for the couples therapy. How dare you make her feel shame for her shameful behavior? Yo, at least you got her to actually go to couples therapy at all. My ex insisted on us both just going to our own one-on-one therapy, which meant we both just went to our corner of the ring and got our own feelings validated, but never got any mediation for our myriad of conflicts. Your mistake was trying therapy for that betrayal with her. I'm glad she revealed herself fully for you and that she's now an ex. I feel like I make a variation of this comment every 3 to 6 months, but if you ever meet an honest-to-God, clinically diagnosable person with narcissistic personality disorder, you'll realize that while many have narcissistic traits, most are just garden-variety assholes. NPD is found in 3 to 5% of the population. I've dated more than 20 people. One was a narcissist. He had dated a shit ton of people, so maybe everyone's onto something. Do not send me on a tangent about the narcissist thing. For the love of dog. Narcissism is so very specific and weird. My mom is a narcissist. It's the strangest and cruelest thing I've ever witnessed been defeated by. Good fucking heavens, every piece of shit human being who sucks is not a narcissist. I have a coworker who constantly misuses therapy language. Just because someone remembers something slightly differently than you, that doesn't mean they're gaslighting you. And boundaries aren't things you tell people they aren't allowed to do in your presence. I used to be friendly with her, but it got to be too frustrating. If I told her that's not what those words mean, she would whine that I was always correcting her. Me and my ex were in therapy. I recalled a conversation we had. She remembered it differently. Therapist asked me if I could be remembering it wrong. I said, of course. It was like 3 years ago. Then he turned to my ex and said, "Can you be remembering it wrong?" He asked again. No, he just kind of looked at me and we moved on. This was a conversation about a major life event. Therapy language has left the field it was created in and is getting horribly misused in the general public. Exhibit AMA. Trauma has always meant anything that makes me sad. Stop gaslighting me. Agreed. We really don't need to pathologize every human emotion and experience. I hate it when someone is doing this, and I just have to sit there and grind my teeth because there's no way to call them out without saying the same things. My sister and I are now estranged since she wanted to justify her abusive, toxic behaviors because I was abusive, toxic, manipulative, gaslighting, caused her trauma, disrespected her boundaries, and she needed to protect her peace from my narcissism. The 361 full-length messages from her explained it all. My lived experience on my personal healing journey to protect my peace requires me to speak my truth to you about the fact that you're definitely toxic and narcissistic because you won't let me walk all over you, and that's a form of trauma. Look, I get it. There are definitely toxic and narcissistic people out there. But not every negative interaction is abusive or traumatic. and it seems that all the pseudo-therapy speak has just given dickheads and bullies the vocabulary to provide cover for their dickishness. Lol, this is so true, OMG. My MIL said racist things to me, and when confronted about it, she said we were causing her trauma because we asked for accountability. It's wild. I wish I could upvote this more. I have an adult daughter that equated our relationship with using me as an ATM and constantly telling me she had childhood trauma but never being specific about what it was. She constantly talked about her healing journey. She and I attended counseling together, where she informed me her trauma was the one summer she had to babysit her younger siblings while I worked part-time. She was 13 and I made sure to pay her. She wanted to set boundaries and I accepted that, but then I set my own. No more asking for money. She promptly went NC, and I haven't talked to her in 2 years. I love her so much, but I can't and won't play the bad parent role she's assigned to me. I work with someone that always says that my truth crap. I can't help but always interrupt them and say, you mean your perspective? Can't stand that shit. There can't be more than one truth. There is only one truth, and it's called the truth. My intention wasn't to hurt you, no. But when you said I sucked to speak your truth, that's just vile. Same, so tired of assholes being like protecting my energy and peace, giving them more reasons to be an asshole. I'm just being honest, or I'm pretty blunt. No, you're an asshole with little to no tact. I'm a therapist and I hear every single thing being labeled as self-care. Cutting off lifelong friends for not texting enough. Smoking weed all day while their children watch YouTube. Draining their finances by eating out all the time because they deserve a treat. The list goes on. Effective self-care isn't something you use to cope with the pain of existence. It's something that sets you up for a better tomorrow. Meal prepping because you don't have time to cook during the week. Moving your body, exercise, walking, etc. for the many health benefits. Quitting smoking. Going back to school to give yourself better opportunities. Buying clothes that you feel good in to boost self-esteem. Maintaining a social support network. Getting enough sleep. Coping skills are important too, and sometimes being indulgent can be part of that. But those are meant to be used sparingly, only when overwhelmed with symptoms and unable to complete tasks. They are band-aids that do not work towards progress. They are a last defense against decomp. This reply is just amazing. But how does one enact self-care and not just coping strategies if you're so burnt out, actual self-care seems too hard? Please don't tell my wife that buying clothes is self-care. Thank you. Don't tell my husband that I discovered buying clothes is self-care. Thank you.